want to talk to you today on what I title Purpose, Platform, and Partners. Purpose, platform, and partners. I want to show you the connection between how you can connect your purpose and platform to the partner you are connected to. So I want to show you the connection between all of that and how to make it work. Today, I'm going to start with 7 things you need to know about purpose, platform, and partner. 7 things you need to know when you hear the word purpose. What purpose simply means: the original reason, the original intention, the original basis. Is that okay? So when we say purpose, what was the original reason for which God created you? Original reason for which God created the earth. All right. The original reason for which God created church. All right. The original reason why Christ came. Okay. So it's always important to know that you can never go forward without going backward to purpose. In actual fact, purpose is always a point of recourse for future engagement. I'm going to say that again. Purpose is always the point of recourse for future engagement. If you want to go into the future, you always have to consult with purpose. All right. If you have a breakthrough, a door has just been opened to you. It's not all open doors that are actually good doors. All right. You want to make sure when a door is open, the first thing you do is you consult with God's purpose for your life and ask yourself, is this purpose, this door, in line with God's purpose for my life? All right. In the same vein, now you can begin to see, singles, follow me carefully now, that a guy looks good doesn't mean he's going to be good for you. In actual fact, a good guy can become a bad husband in your life. Why? For a simple reason. This is a good guy, but he is not supposed to hang out with you when it comes to the accomplishment of purpose. All right. So never forget that although she's a good girl and she just comes into your life and becomes a bad wife. Why? This is a good girl who is not supposed to be your wife. She is good, all right, but she's not supposed to be your wife on the grounds of purpose. So you can see that purpose is superior to love. 2, purpose is the original reason for which something is in existence. Purpose is the original reason for which something is in existence. Never forget that. I'm using almost the synonym. I'm using synonyms, all right? Original intention. The intention in the heart of someone for making something is what you call the purpose, all right? The original reason for engagement is what you call purpose. The original basis for relationship is also what you call purpose. The original reason, intention, and basis for your existence is what we call your purpose. And it is critical to understand that on this note, because of purpose, it is critical that you also move to something. If I have a purpose, there's a reason why God created you, all right? And there's something God has created you to do, which is your purpose, the real assignment that God has called you to carry out. It's always important to know that there's a platform where that assignment will find expression. All right. Now, the screen behind me is better suited where it is. It's a good thing to put that. That's a platform. This is the screen. The purpose is to project. That's the purpose of the screen. The purpose is to project. But this thing can only project if it is on a good platform. So we placed it on a platform so that it can project properly. I'm sure you do know that if I allow this to fall to the ground, it falls to the ground and is face down. You're very confident of the fact that this will not carry out its purpose. Now listen, it will not carry out its purpose to you. It doesn't mean that it will not be showing, but it will be showing to the ground. Meaning the absence of platform can make something not to fully carry out its purpose. This is very powerful. The first thing that God did was to establish purpose. All right, purpose. And then the next thing God did was to create man based on the purpose. All right. Number 3, God then created a platform for the expression of the purpose of man. All right. It was when man found himself on his platform that wife, partner came on board. So it is expected from the principle of first mention From the principle of first mention. Jesus said it was not so from the beginning. So how was it in the beginning? The beginning makes it so clear that a woman should only go to be married to a man who is in his garden. And don't forget what I talk about when I use the word garden. I'm talking about the place of expressing his purpose. Meaning, the man you are to marry must have already clearly defined his purpose, his assignment. So as a lady, you want to get married to a guy, you need to be very clear about the fact that he is clear about his assignment. Okay, so but Pastor Sam, I didn't know about all of this and I married a confused.com. No problem. God will help us. Things will work out. Now that you are married, you can run out of it. There will be what we call course correction. Is that okay? Along the path, you begin to pray until he finds his way into his purpose. God will give you patience. So for those who are single, you have a great opportunity right now to begin to put things straight, particularly those of you who are men. Before you talk about a partner, you better talk about your platform. 7 things you need to know in order to connect your purpose to your platform and to your partner. 7 things you need to know. Number 1, you need to know your identity. It is dangerous to go into relationship not knowing who you are. Self-definition is the foundation for stability in relationship. Write that down. Self-definition is the foundation for effective relationship. Whether it's business relationship, marriage relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is, self-definition, knowing who you are, is the foundation for stability. Paul the Apostle says something. He said, examine yourself daily to see whether you are in the faith. He said, know ye not your own selves? So Paul is saying you should know who you are. It is dangerous to say I do. It is dangerous to walk up to the altar and say I do when you are confused. Relationships become strong and healthier when individuals in the relationship know who they are. Have clear self-definition. Number 2, know your purpose. First thing you know is your identity. Who am I? Next thing you must know is your purpose. Why am I here? You want to have a solid marriage, you want to have a solid relationship, define the true reason why you are in existence. Now listen, I know many of you have been hearing this and you heard it when you were 20, you ran away, you carried a book, understanding purpose, you started reading, you got confused, you dropped the book, and you continue moving without clarifying your purpose. You know I'm talking about you. You are 35, still not clear about purpose. You are pursuing ambition instead of purpose. Now, let me say this. Ambition is fantastic. It's the self-designed path that we make for ourselves as what we call our reason for existence. As wonderful as your ambition is, it is substandard to what your purpose is. The worst thing that can happen is for you to be successful at pursuing your ambition only to find out that you died never accomplishing your purpose. Number 3, write this down. Know your vision. Know your vision. Your vision is what you see the world becoming by virtue of your assignment. Oh, come on, don't miss that now. Your vision is what you see the world becoming because of your own engagement with the world, because of the deployment of your purpose. Because you came into this world, because of what you have come to do, what will the world look like by the time you are leaving? It's called your vision. It's your mountaintop experience where you are going to finally what you want the world to look like. Mother Teresa says her own vision is to make sure that no child in Calcutta goes without food. She lived for that until she died. Take care of the leprous people. What is your vision? What will the world look like by the time you are done carrying out your assignment on earth? Number 4, write this down. Know your scope. Your scope as a man and as a woman. Don't just have a vision. Know the scope of your vision. Is it local or is it global or is it glocal? Glocal is local versus global. Okay, you need to know the scope of your vision. Why? So when you are coming into relationship with anybody, you communicate the scope of your vision. I'm going to be working with the United Nations. Let it be clear from the beginning. And let the man be able to say, sweetheart, I think I'll be able to accommodate that or not. Don't say, well, we love each other. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. And then you want to start traveling for the United Nations, for global meetings, and your husband said, no, my priority is family. And then on the ground of conflict of pursuit of purpose, your marriage will go apart. Number 5, you need to know your platform. Your platform. Where are you going to be expressing your purpose? Is it in the world of media? Is it in the world of governance, politics? Is it in the financial institution, in the world of judiciary, military? Where is your purpose going to find expression? Know it and then communicate it. For instance, if your purpose is going to take you into politics, tell your wife, tell your husband, and make sure that the person has capacity to handle that platform. See, it's not just enough for your partner to know your purpose. It's important that your partner know the platform where your purpose will find expression. Number 6, know your network. Based on your assignment, who are the kind of people you will be working with? Locally and globally, who are the kind of people you're going to be working with? Communicate that to your partner. There are some of you, your assignment will require that you work a lot with women, all right? And you're a man. And it's not that you have anything to do with the women, but can your wife stand to see you work with other women? So you see, she embraces your purpose, but because your platform is not something she was aware of, she may reject the platform and attack your purpose. Lastly, know your demands. Know your demands. What does that mean? Every assignment has demands. There are demands that comes with every assignment. If you are in the military, it comes with a specific demand. Most military wives can't boast of having their husbands at home all the time with them. There are some military wives who don't see their husband more than 7-8 times in a year. It's the demand of the assignment. Politicians, there's a demand. Pastors, there's a demand. Medical doctors, there are demands that comes with the execution of everyone's assignment. Please, don't gloss over these things. Don't just talk love, talk about how you're going to do your wedding in Hawaii, how you're going to be having many children and stuff. There's more to marriage. And the subtle part of marriage is what I'm talking to you about today. Communicate to your partner, platform, network, and communicate demands. I will be awake at night. If you are into research, you're a professor, you want to be a professor, you want to lecture in the university, it may require that you read all night. Now, how do you do reading all night if you've not told your wife that that's part of the demands of your duty? Your wife wants you in the night, but here you are, you want to read in the night. Conflict will begin from there. There are singles who are watching me. I pray for you that as you are watching right now, as God is preparing you, I ask that God will bring you in connection with the man that God has prepared for you. Because God is preparing you, God will bring you a prepared man in the name of Jesus Christ. And for marriages who are having trouble, I pray that the Lord will settle your marriage. And for relationships that are yet to become solid, the Lord will solidify relationships like that. And for single parents, I pray you will find joy again. For widows and widowers, I pray that the Lord will give you joy again. You will find happiness again if you choose to marry. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. I love you so very much. Until I come your way again, this time we're saying, keep on keeping on. Bye-bye. Wow. That was Relationship Masterclass yesterday. My name is Samuel. It absolutely gladdens my heart to connect with you today. And this promised to be another exciting moment as we talk about some deeper things in the area of relationships. So I'd like you to get yourself together. That was a recap of our meeting yesterday. I'm going to be taking you a step further, like I promised today. I'm going to be taking you into something a little more technical than what you heard yesterday. And I want you to brace up. Normally, because I do a lot of marriage research, I'm a certified relationship coach, so and I'm a marriage educator. So part of what we do is that we research into marriages globally to see exactly what the trends are. What are the trends behind the trends? Why do things happen? You know, with my science background, I'm more inclined to figuring out what exactly makes things happen. I'm just wired that way. I like to know why things are the way they are. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some things that perhaps you may not have heard as it comes to the issue of relationships. So I'd like you to please give me your maximum attention, because what I'm about to share with you today will be significantly impactful. So why don't you reach out to some of your friends and tell them the Relationship Masterclass is on now, and I promise you somebody's going to say thank you for letting me know about the event. Today I'm going to be taking you, I'll just run through. We're talking about purpose, we're talking about platform, we're talking about partners. And in case you missed out on that yesterday, one of the major things that I did mention yesterday was the fact that the first thing that you ever settle before you do anything is purpose. Is that okay? The first thing God put in place before he put man in place was purpose. Why am I going to create man? All right? It's also important for you to ask yourself, why do I need to go into a relationship? Purpose must precede any other thing. Purpose must precede anything you want to do. All right, so God created purpose before he created man. And when God created man, he created the garden. All right? So God created man in Eden, but then created the garden for man. All right. So it's important to know the way that God did these things. One, purpose was established before man was created. As soon as man was created, you had the garden. And then God took the man and God put the man inside the garden, which he had created. Don't forget that. God put the man inside the garden, which the Almighty God himself had created. Now, having put man into the garden, then God had to remind him of what his original purpose was. The reason I created you is so that you can till the ground, subdue the earth, be fruitful, multiply, and all of that. So purpose again was reestablished when man was placed in the garden. What was the garden? The garden happens to be the platform. Never forget what I just said to you now. The garden happens to be the platform where man's purpose will find expression, all right? Every purpose needs a platform. So God created man, put him in a garden. The garden was his platform where his purpose will find expression. And it was in the garden on his platform that God brought his partner to come meet him. In essence, whilst man was in Eden, God did not bring a woman to the man in Eden. Please take note of that. Until the man came into his garden, until the man found his platform, a place for the execution of his purpose, God did not bring a partner into his life. I'm talking to ladies who are too quick to get in touch with guys, and you want to marry a guy just because the guy looks good in his Eden. Don't marry a guy in Eden until he has found his garden. Can I say that again? Don't marry a guy in Eden until he has found his garden. If he has not found his platform and you marry him, sometimes you may just get to find out that by the time he finds his platform, you are not a match for his platform. Can you see that now? It's important to understand that the platform where a man will be carrying out his purpose, it is critical that a woman knows what that platform is. And if you don't know that and you marry a man, by the time he evolves into his platform, by the time he leaves his Eden and comes into his garden, he comes on his platform, then you will realize that his platform might even be something you hate naturally. And you can't love a man if you hate his platform. Woo! Okay, so we're just warming up. Is that okay? You can't truly continue to love a man if you are not in love with his platform. you cannot be disinterested, permit me to use that word. You cannot be disinterested in my platform and really continue to love me, because your hatred for my platform will soon be transferred to hatred to me. And the same thing with you as a man. You want to marry a woman, it's important that you understand her platform of engagement. She's going to be a nurse. She's going to be practicing in a hospital. Is that okay? That's her passion. That's where her purpose will find expression. She's going to always be with people. What that means is that from time to time, as a nurse, as a medical doctor, she may not always be available for you. And if you are the kind of person who always wants your wife to be around, then you're really going to run into problem when she begins to pursue her purpose on her platform. It doesn't mean she's not going to be a wife. It's just that the duties of our platform will place so much demand on her time. The challenge with that is that if you were not aware of the platform of her engagement, when she begins to pursue and climb high on that platform, it will begin to infringe on your time together. And the problem is that over time, you will hate her job, you will hate her platform, and it will be transferred to her in form of passive or active aggression. So I like you to follow carefully, because this is more than, no, I love you, your eyes are like dove, and your teeth are like roe, and all those rhymes and all of that. Fantastic. Marriage is real hard work. Relationship is hard work. Whether you're single, you're married, whatever it is, relating with people is hard work. Again, the beautiful thing about this hard work is that it is really beneficial. It is highly rewarding. So I'd like you to follow me carefully today as we talk about purpose, as we talk about platforms, and as we talk about partners. Is that okay? You're going to find that all through your life, if you find marriages that are having challenges, sometimes we see money and sex as the issues and all of that. The reality is that if you look underneath, you're going to find the things that I'm talking about today are some of the major drivers of what you call the major problems. So we have what we call the trend behind the trend. So whilst you say that money is the problem, we want to say, why is money the problem? Whilst you say sex is the problem, we want to say, okay, why is sex the problem? And by the time you look a little bit deeper, you're going to find out that some of the things that I'm sharing with you today are the real trend behind the trend. All right? So let's go ahead and share the video right now, and I will be talking straight away. I will remind you of the 7 things, even though you've already seen them. I'm just going to run through them without talking about them. I'm going to remind you of the 7 major things you must know so that you can connect with your purpose, your partner, your platform, and your partner, and make the best of your relationship. Number 1, I did mention to you yesterday that you need to know your identity. It is foolishness for you to try to go into relationship when you are confused.com. It doesn't make sense for you to want to build relationship with somebody when you don't even know who you are. Why build a lifetime with somebody when you don't even have a good understanding of who you are in the moment? So the first assignment is to know you before you know somebody else. So take some time out. If you are confused, there are people around you that can really help you out. If you're anywhere around us, those of you that are in Abuja, we run a program. We call it SHAPE, SHAPE. We run that program almost every month. Then it has helped countless of people in the church who want to know who they are. So if you're anywhere in Abuja, you want to know who you are, we run a program called SHAPE. It helps you to know your spiritual gift, your heartbeat, your personality, your experiences, and how to leverage all of that to be able to define yourself within the context of your purpose for life. Okay? So having said that, you need to know who you are. Number 2, you need to know your purpose. You need to know why you are here. Very critical. You need to know why you are here. Number 3, you need to know your vision. I'm going to see the fastest finger who is typing out all the points that I'm mentioning. I saw some of you did fantastic job in summarizing my message yesterday. And I replied some of you. I sent a message to some of you to tell you thank you. You did fantastic. In fact, some of you made my presentation better in the way you stated it. So thank you all. I appreciate you. Number 3, know your vision. Okay? Where are you going to? What's the mountaintop? How will the world be by the time your assignment is done? All these things are important when it comes to who you're going to marry. You can't be heading to America and be married to someone who wants to live in Australia. You're just going to be apart, and it will create tension in your relationship, and tension leads to divorce. Tension leads to breakup. So it's important that you're going to see the recommendations I'm going to give very shortly. So know your vision. Number 4, know your scope. How big and how far-reaching is your assignment? How big is what God is calling you to do? How big is it going to be? How small is it? Is it local? Is it global? Is it national? Is it regional? It's important to know the scope of your assignment. All right? Then let's move on to number 5. When it comes to number 5, know your platform. This assignment you want to carry out, where are you supposed to carry it out? On what platform? Is it a media platform? Is it an educational platform? Is it a platform of art, entertainment, sport, government, politics, education? Is it on the platform of economy, business? Is it on the platform of governance, politics? What kind of platform will act as the substratum to carry your purpose? It's important that you know that, because if you don't know that and your partner gets to find out that you are engaging on a platform that your partner is not comfortable with, that can begin to create a major challenge between you and your partner. All right? Then the next thing you need to quickly take note of is to know your network. Who are the people that are going to be working with you? It's important to know that you cannot carry out your dreams alone by yourself. So you need to know who will be working with you. And it's important to know that, so that when you're getting married or you are in relationship, your partner gets to know that the people working for you are not individuals who are in relationship with you. I will explain that to you very shortly. So know your network. Who do you need to accomplish what you are sent to do? Who do you need? The last thing is to know your demands. How much of you, how much of your time, how much of your resource will your assignment take from you? It's important to know the demands of your assignment on your life. For instance, the people that I'm working with right now, my media guys are here. They came into this place today. They came to work on an average day. They come to work at about 5 a.m. in the morning. All right? And they are still here. 5 a.m. It's past 8 p.m. Sometimes they don't get home until past 10, 11 in the night. Now, it's critical that the ladies they want to marry know the demand of their assignment. Otherwise, she's going to get married to them. Why are you leaving home in the morning? Why are you leaving so early? Why are you coming back so late? And that's where trouble is going to start. So know the demands of your assignment. If you're going to marry a military man, woman of God, it's important to know that he is a gift to the world. He will not always be available. He may not even be available on your birthday. In fact, he may not be available on your name on the day you're naming your child. Some of your most significant days will be without him. It is the demand of his assignment. You're married to a doctor. Well, sometimes get ready just whilst he's sleeping with you in bed, and you're just like trying to hold him, and you're trying to have a good time with your husband. Then he gets a call and he has to say, excuse me, I've got to go. You can't start fighting him. That's his assignment. That's the demand of his assignment. You want to marry a pastor, and you know, and you are a woman who is not secured in yourself, and you find your husband on the platform, and women are coming, and your husband is hugging them, and you are there getting angry in your spirit. Why are they hugging my husband? He is a gift to the world. Is that okay? So you better know the demand. You're going to marry a celebrity, a guy who is a singer and is going to be global, and girls are going to come around him. They're going to take pictures with him. They're going to cross their face on him. They're going to throw their hands on him, and you're going to be grinding. You're going to be angry. You're like, why did she cross her hand on my husband? What does she have to do with my husband? She has nothing to do with your husband. That's what they do with celebrities. and God have mercy on your soul, they get to have your husband's number, they're going to be sending him all kinds of pictures, including nude pictures. Now, you don't start attacking your husband. I caught you. Yeah, I just saw a new picture. It doesn't necessarily mean he solicited for that. The reality is that it will be sent to him whether he solicits for it or not. It comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. And the same thing with you, man. Your wife, know the demand of your wife's assignment, so that when she begins to rise up and she's working in a male-dominated environment, and you always see pictures of her with men, you know, in boardrooms and all of that, and something begins to run wild in your head, are you sure she's not having an affair with them? Why think that way? It's part of our assignment. Know the demand of your partner's assignment so you don't run into crisis in your relationship. All right? What I'm going to be doing right now is that I'm going to be taking you to the part 2 of this conversation today. And I really want you now to get ready, because we're going to take it a little bit deeper. All right? I'm going to take it a little bit deeper. So why don't you reach out to your brother, your sister, your friends. Let them catch up with us now. I'm going to be talking to you about, I've shown you 7 things you need to know in order to connect your purpose, your platform to your partner. So you do not have a situation whereby you are connected to your purpose, you are connected to your platform, but you lost your partner. That's why I'm teaching you this. That's why you find some men, they are married to ministry. The man is married to ministry and divorced from his wife. They are living together, but they have no emotional connection. Why? There is a disconnect. The man has not been able to connect his purpose and his platform to his partner. And then you have individuals whereby the man is trying to connect his purpose and his platform to his partner, and she will not have any of that because this is not what she signed up for. So you have individuals who are frustrated today, and this is the reason by far why some men and women get to commit adultery, because their partner is not a part of their purpose and their platform. Are you seeing what I'm saying now? So the man is out there pursuing his purpose and his platform alone. The woman is there on her purpose, pursuing her purpose on her platform, and her husband is not part of her fun. He doesn't celebrate her. He's not excited about what she does. And then there are other men out there who are always throwing accolades at her. That's where the trouble really begins from. So it's important today. You will need to listen to this teaching over and over, you know. Some of you, it's really beyond your scope right now. It's something you need to take time and listen. This is one of the teachings you need to keep. Whether you like it or yes, you're going to deal with these issues in the days and in the months to come if you are not dealing with it right now. Those of you who are parents, you may be smart enough to get it across to your children. Trust me, this is the foundation of many problems. So now listen, let me give you a practical example. So you said the man actually went to sleep with his secretary. You see, that is what the man did. Yes, he slept with his secretary. What you don't know is the trend behind the trend. The issue is that this man doesn't have a wife who is connected to his purpose and his platform. So the man spends more time at work because he wants to avoid the woman he has at home. It is in the place of work he connects with a secretary who is passionate about his purpose and his platform. And then she begins to give him advice, counsel. She is deeply involved in the execution of his purpose and his platform as against his own wife. See, it was not adultery the man went looking for. It's just that the man found somebody who truly connects with his purpose and his platform. And it is on the ground of connection with purpose and platform that the woman and the man began to get romantically involved. As much as that is not a justification for adultery, I'm telling you that that is the premise for many cases. So let's take this very, very slowly today, and I'm very confident that it's going to add a lot of value to you. And I know that some of my people are on WhatsApp trying to get the link. I'm sure somebody's going to send it to them on all my groups on WhatsApp and all of that. Let me quickly move on now to 7 things you must do to maximize your purpose, your platform, and your partner. What do you need to do? If you are the type that is married, you're about to get married, you are yet to get married, what are you going to do to make the best out of your purpose, your platform, and your partner? What do you need to do? Write this down. Number one, recognize your similarities and celebrate your differences. Write that down. Recognize your similarities and celebrate your differences. Write that down. If you really want to make the best out of your relationship with your spouse, your husband, your wife, whosoever you're in relationship with, recognize what makes you similar and celebrate what makes you different. This is one of the most powerful secrets of great and successful relationships. They recognize what makes them similar. My wife and I are similar when it comes to hard work. We are workaholics. I remember some times ago, some years back, I had called my wife and I'm like, find some times to rest. And she said, look at a person telling somebody to rest. You too need to rest. So you see, we are similar when it comes to hard work. But then we are different when it comes to some other things. So we recognize our differences, we recognize our similarities, and we celebrate our uniqueness, our differences. This is, you're going to learn a lot today. This is very, very powerful when it comes to maximizing your purpose, your potential, and your partner. All right? We must recognize the fact that we are similar in some areas. Let's identify those areas. And then two, let us recognize and celebrate where we are totally diverse and unique. Here is the secret in relationship. Successful relationships are built on recognizing similarities. Is that okay? Extraordinary relationships are built on celebrating differences. So if you just want to have a successful relationship, just build it on your similarities. But if you want to have an extraordinary relationship, build it on celebrating your uniqueness. What makes her different? What makes him different? Celebrate your uniqueness. It is critical. Our purposes are different. The world we live in is the same. It is critical to know what exactly do we share in common and what do we have that is different. It is a celebration of our difference that makes for extraordinary success. Never attack the difference of your partner. You see, that's where I'm going to now. Never attack the difference of your partner. That your partner's difference is not similar to your difference is no reason why you should attack your partner's difference. Never assert superiority over your partner because of your partner's difference. For instance, if your partner is somebody who is very jovial, your partner is very, very jovial, your partner is a people person, she likes to laugh, she likes to make people happy, and you are a little bit of the meticulous, calm-headed, cool-headed kind of person, you never use your difference to insult, intimidate, criticize, and speak contemptuously on your partner. You never make statements like you just talk anyhow. You just talk a lot. You don't know how to be sober. You don't talk like that to your partner. You are the serious-minded type. Your partner is not. Your partner is a more social animal and stuff like that. Your partner's difference is for your advantage. Write that down. Your partner's difference is for your advantage. I'm different from my wife. She's different from me. Her difference is for my advantage. My difference is for her advantage. Write that down quickly. Your partner's difference is for your advantage. That is absolutely true. So if you're going to maximize your relationship, if you're going to maximize your purpose, your potential, and your partner, number one, recognize your similarities and celebrate your differences. Number two, write this down. Unite your purposes and blend your goals. Unite your purposes and blend your goals. That's very powerful. What is your partner's purpose? What is your purpose? Can we unite them together since we want to live together? So 19 years ago, my wife and I sat down in our little apartment and we said, okay, look, so what's your dream? And what's my dream? And we sat down together, we talk about, hey, this is what I want to do, this is what she wants to do. And then we say, okay, can we bring all of it together? And we say, look, since we do not have resources enough to pursue all of them at once, we decided on which one we are going to start pursuing, which if properly pursued will open the door for the rest. Now, this is very critical. I'm going to say that again. Don't forget what I just said right now. I had to call how we called each other. We sat down and we say, you know what? What's your purpose? What's your assignment? What do you want to do? What do I want to do? What's my goal? What's your dream? What's your vision? We brought everything together. And then what we now decided to say was that, look, listen, we have limited resource. We do not have the kind of money that will power all of this at the same time. So the greatest question then became, which one do we pursue now? Such that if we pursue that, it will create a domino effect by opening the door for the rest. And we agreed on what to channel all of our early energy towards. So we converged all of our resources towards the pursuit of a particular goal. And that began to open doors for others. So it didn't really matter whether it was my goal or my purpose that were to pursue first. The most important thing to note is that whatever we're pursuing now, it will open the door for the rest of what we all want to pursue. And pretty much that is what helped us. So we were not scattered. I wasn't secretly pursuing something and she was secretly pursuing something. No. We converged our energy. In physics, when you carry a convergence lens and the scattered rays of the sun, when you put a convergence lens and you put it right on top of a paper, the convergence lens converges the rays of the sun and causes it to burn a paper. Now, watch this carefully. If the rays are not converged, they never set anything on fire. So you can't accomplish much as a couple if you are scattered. If everybody's just going on his own, everybody's heading in their own different direction, you may accomplish some things, but you not accomplish great things. So convergence is very critical. It is critical that you converge, harmonize your energy, unite your purposes, blend your goals. What's her goal? What's your goal? What's our goal? Blend your goals together. Write them all out. Every year, my wife and I have made it a practice. Every year, we normally, after the 1st of January, we normally will leave our church. And in the days gone by, we will travel out of our city. We go to another part of Nigeria we call Uyo. We will go to that part of the city for 3 days or sometimes 4 or 5 days. All depends on whatever time we have available to us. We will check into the hotel. The first day, we do nothing. Second day, we are going to we're going to look back at the year before. How well did we all do? We score ourselves. And then after that, we set the goal for the year. What's your goal? What's my goal? And then it becomes our goal. Are you getting that? We make it our goal. And when we are leaving that hotel, we are all on the same page in terms of the goals we are pursuing. You know what God has always done for us? Whatever we had always set as goals for the year, we had always accomplished most times by the middle of the year. It's the power of converging your energies together. It's the power of blending your goals together. It's the power of uniting your purposes. I'm going to repeat that. Most of the years gone by, whenever we set a goal for a year, we always accomplish it by mid of the year. Why? We are all invested because we are all interested. Why? Because we all came together and put those goals together. A house divided against itself, it cannot stand. And too many relationships, too many marriages, too many families are divided against themselves. You cannot stand. It's critical that you blend your goals, unite your purposes. Number three, write this down. See the future and journey to your destination together. See the future together and journey to your destination together. See the future together. So this is very critical now. What is your vision? Can you make it become her vision? Madam, what is your vision? Can you make it become his vision? What do I mean? How do you communicate your vision to your partner so much so that your partner can see how your vision will better the family, better the relationship? Write this down. If it is never personal, it never becomes important. So if you want it to become important, make it personal. Meaning, let your partner see how the accomplishment of your own vision will be to the betterment of the family. Powerful secret in communicating vision. The reason your partner is not signed into your vision is because your partner has not seen how the vision will benefit him or her. Everything your partner is hearing is my vision. When I become this, I'll become that, and I'll achieve this. Then I'll become. Your partner is saying, where am I? Where are our children in all of this? And that's why the first person fighting against your vision is your own partner. Because your partner can't see how this connects to us. So see your future together. Cast the vision of the future you want to get to. Cast that vision to your partner. Let there be something we call buy-in. Let your partner buy into your vision. It is critical that you practice what I'm talking about. Listen, if you say what you want to say, if you don't do this, you don't practice this, it is a reason why you're going to constantly have challenges with your partner. If your partner doesn't buy into your vision, the accomplishment of your vision will be short-circuited. Meaning, even if you accomplish it, it will not be to the max. If you read in Genesis, the Bible says when they were to build a tower, they said, go to, let us build. Go to, let us. If you read in Genesis chapter 1, the Bible said, let us make man. You hear that language there. See, the point I'm making is that even the Trinity communicated the vision that they wanted to pursue to each other. So the Father knows what the Son wants to do, the Son knows what the Father wants to do, and the Spirit knows what everybody wants to do. That was why in Genesis chapter 1, you saw all of them at work. Division of labor. The Son was the word being spoken. The Spirit was the one performing. The Father was the one speaking. Together, you had the result you have in Genesis chapter 1, chapter 2. Wouldn't it be wonderful that your family, your husband, your wife, everybody's invested in the vision? But how can they be invested when they can't see what you see? So your assignment is to make your partner see. Listen, you have to find a way to communicate. Learn how to communicate your vision. Please hear what I say. Communicate your vision in such a way that your partner sees how it will benefit him, benefit the family. It is critical for there to be a buy-in. Wow. So see the future together and journey to that destination together. Don't leave each other behind. Please hear me and hear me well. As you move higher, as you go farther, don't leave your partner behind. That was the mistake that Moses made. Moses and Aaron were called together. It was more like a husband and wife relationship. But here's the problem with Moses. When Moses was going to the mountaintop, Moses left Aaron on the ground. So what Moses saw on the mountain, Aaron did not see. So Moses constantly went up and sees what Aaron doesn't see. Here's where the problem lies. When Moses came down from seeing what he saw, Moses saw what Moses didn't want to see. Moses saw that Aaron had created a golden calf, because Aaron wasn't seeing the God that Moses was saying, I want to see your glory. Aaron couldn't see the glory, so he created one. Moses came back and was angry. He broke the commandment. Can you see the setback Moses had? Because he was angry, he broke the commandment. He had to go back another 40 days. Why was he angry? Because he left Aaron, and Aaron wasn't exposed to what he was exposed to. That is what happens when men climb up and leave their wives down. She will eventually someday pull you down. Women, when your husband is rising, don't sit down. Rise with him. And those of you women who for some reason destiny has made it so that you are climbing higher than your husband, ma'am, find a way to equalize the gap. Close the power gap between you and your husband. Otherwise, the man you leave on the ground whilst you rise, madam, the man you leave on the ground will one day mess you up. It might be in a dinner, it might be at a speech presentation meeting. That man will mess you up big time one day. Close the power gap. As a woman, you're rising. Encourage your husband. I know some men can be very difficult. Encourage your husband. You will find a way to communicate growth to him in his interest. I'm going to say that again. You will communicate growth to him in his interest. You will make him see why he needs to go for courses that will make him become better. And hey, woman of God, there's nothing wrong if you entice him and say, look, sweetheart, if you go, I'm going to send you some money so that you can also do some shopping. Whatever you have to do, ma'am, do it so that this gap is closed. It's better to deal with it secretly than for you to have to face it publicly. Never leave your partner behind. Never leave your partner behind. Number four. Take off your limits and see new possibilities together. Take off your own limits and see new possibilities together. If you're going to maximize your potential, maximize your relationship, take off the limits on your mind. You are married to a man going to a great place. You are married to a woman going to a higher height. Take off the limits on your mind. Otherwise, your limits will become a challenge to your partner. As partners in marriage and relationship, we're supposed to be ladder holders. Today, I may be the one holding the ladder for my wife to climb. How high my wife will climb will depend on how well I can hold the ladder for her. If I'm not skillful in holding a ladder, my wife can't climb high. If my wife is not skillful at holding the ladder, I won't climb high. Take off the mental limits. Take off what you put on your mind as possibilities. Stop shutting your partner down. When your partner is talking about global, say, shut up, Joe. Every time you're talking, you're always talking about big things. Can't you talk about something small? Take off the limits of your mind. Otherwise, you will put a lead on your marriage and your marriage potential. Take the leads off. You may not even know how it's going to happen. When your partner says, listen, we're going to build something very great. If you don't know how it's going to happen, just tell your partner, really, how is that going to be? Let your partner explain. You may not even see the possibility. Just say, I believe you. Than to open your mouth and say, listen, shut all this. You're always talking about big things, eh? And you've not even done something small. Do some, let's forget about all these big things. Let's do something small. Yeah. Take off the lead of your mind so you don't put a lead on your marriage and your relationship. Your husband is talking global, you are talking local. Your wife is talking global, you are talking local. Your wife is talking production, you are talking consumption. It's important that we take the leads off our minds. It's important that we take off our limits and see new possibilities. And sometimes the best way to see new possibilities is through the eyes of your partner. Some things you've never known that can be real. Let your partner tell you about that. Don't shut your partner down and say, listen, I don't want to hear that thing you're talking about. How is that going to be possible? No. Just allow it. Let it flow and take off the limits of your own mind. You will never fulfill your purpose with limits on your mind. You never fulfill purpose with limits on your mind. Write that down. You never fulfill purpose with limits on your mind. I want to share something with you now, which I think you're going to take so seriously. Number 5, recognize your power zone and support one another there. Recognize your power zone and support one another there. Isn't this the cause of many breakups and divorces? What is your partner's power zone? Where does your partner functions highly and so effectively well at? What is your partner's power zone? A power zone is where your partner does exceptionally well. It is your partner's platform. It is your partner's garden. It is your partner's stream of strength. Your partner's stream of strength. It is the ocean where the shark does so very well in. It is the top of the trees where the monkey does so very well. It is the moist earth where the earthworm does so very well. It is actually the holes in the tree where the rock badger, or the holes in the rock where the rock badger does so very well. Hey, here's the point I'm making. Every one of us have our power zone where we are highly effective are maximally impactful. Know your partner's power zone and support your partner there. Here's the key. Invest into your partner's power zone. Invest into your partner's power zone. My wife likes to bake, so I would like to invest into equipment that makes my wife to be highly effective and efficient at what she does. There used to be a time when my wife, years back, when we're doing cake stuff, she mixes with her hands. And it's a lot of work. I see my wife, she will strain, stress, and she will work so very hard trying to mix the dough and all of that to create cake. Hey, we said, can it be better? Oh, yes, we got to know that there were machines. And work. Eventually, the machines were bought. All right? So now she doesn't do that anymore. So now she is highly effective and efficient in her power zone because there is an investment in that zone. I like to read. I love books. So what happened? I traveled, and before I came back, my wife had gotten 2 of my pastors, and they had come. She had created bookshelves. She had already gotten my books arranged with my pastors, and I came into a place where the books have been totally arranged. Things have been labeled. See, the whole idea is that she's investing into my own power zone too. And if I read, I become knowledgeable. I add value to people. People add value to me. I come back also and I add value to her. Can you see how the chain works? Invest into your partner's power zone. I can see a lot of you making comments now and all of that. Why don't you just go ahead? I have 2 more to share. So why don't you go ahead and share the video with 2 of your friends that you really think will need to watch today's broadcast. Okay, let me ask all of you right now. Can you think about 3 of your friends? I want you to invest into somebody's power zone now. Can you think of 3 of your friends that need to watch this broadcast? maybe after the broadcast, why don't you tag their names now? Just put their names there and said, hey, Natasha, watch this. Go ahead and tag 3 of your friends' name. And trust me, they'll be very grateful. If you are finding value right now, why don't you tag somebody? Let them watch it now. Okay? So recognize your partner's power zone and support your partner there. If your partner is a banker, your partner is into whatever, have you ever paid a surprise visit to your partner in the office? And you go to that office just to go and visit your partner, and just to let your partner know, I celebrate what you're doing. And whilst you are going, maybe lunchtime, if you're able to buy lunch and something your partner likes to take, or even drive to your partner's office during break time and say, look, I came to pick you up for lunch. I want to let you know that I'm really impressed at what you're doing. Hey, it's about investing into your partner's power zone. How about buying books for your partner? Yes. How about buying materials, things, resource materials that can add value to your partner? Your partner is a teacher. Why don't you buy materials that will add value to your partner's life? I'm talking about recognizing your partner's power zone and investing into it. Your husband is a pastor, and you are opportune to know about conferences here and there that can add value to your husband. Why don't you register him for a public speaking conference, knowing that if your husband can attend a public speaking conference, it will add value to him? Your wife is into hairdressing. Why don't you add value to the person's life? For instance, I give a practical example. Today, I'd gotten to know that there's a digital marketing or something marketing seminar that is going to be taking place in our city at this weekend. I got to know about it. And the next thing I did was to quickly get 4 of my staff to be registered for that conference. I didn't even have to call them. I just simply gave an instruction. I want them to be registered for this conference. And so 4 of them have been registered for that conference coming up this weekend. And hey, they will get certificate. I don't need the certificate, but it will add value to them. And if it adds value to them, it will add value to me. I'm talking about investing into your partner's power zone. CEOs invest into the people that are working so they can be more effective at what they do. Let's get to number 6 quickly because of our time. Oh, my. All right. Number 6, build your team around the task. This is very important. You want to maximize your relationship. You want to maximize your purpose, your partner, and your platform. Build a team around the task and not around yourself. This is a big mistake a lot of people normally make. Build a team around the task. What do you people want to accomplish? Build a team around the task, not around yourselves. You build friends around yourselves. But when it comes to getting a job done, a task done, when you want to carry out a task, you build a team. And normally a team is made up of different people with different competencies. They don't have to be people you like. They are people you need. Here's where the trouble lies with couples. There is a person you need to get a task done. So your husband gets the person, your wife gets the person, but you don't like the person. The person who is going to get the job done, the person talks a lot. Or the person is somebody who is very aggressive, but knows how to get the job done. And because you as a person don't like aggressive people, you then now fight your wife, fight your husband to get rid of the person who looks aggressive. You fight your husband to get rid of the person who talks. Or there's this lady in the team. She is very flamboyant. She's properly dressed. She likes to look nice and all of that. And sometimes she may be a little bit indecent and all of that. Hey, but she gets the job done. And now because you don't like people like that, you fight your partner and eliminate the person. Here's the point. You then replace the person who you need with people you like. And what is the consequence of that? The people you like don't have the competence to carry out your task. So you know your purpose, you have the platform, but you are not getting the result. Why? You have built a team of friends, people you like, who can get the job done. You like them, they are docile, they are weaklings, they are people who are grossly incompetent, they don't have a sense of duty, you don't like them, so you fire them. And the next thing is you gather around you people with gross incompetencies to the highest level, and here you are now, you can't move the mission forward, you can't accomplish your purpose. I see that happen all over the time. All the time, I see it happen. The woman gets a team, and the man says, look, I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy, you know. And the wife is like, why? And instead of him to be talking about he can't deliver, the job we gave him, he couldn't deliver. Listen to what the man begins to say. Well, I noticed that he's too, you know, he likes opening his chest, you know. I noticed that he likes to dress with tight shirt. Hello, sir. That's not why we brought the guy here. We brought this guy on board to get a job done. And then you send the guy away, and then you bring your own brother, you bring your friend who is incompetent, but you like him. So here you are unable to move forward because you've surrounded yourself with people that you like to carry out a task that they don't have competence for. Very successful couples, you know what they do? They bring in people that don't share the same religion with them. Think about some of the most successful companies. They have working for them people who don't share their faith. Christians, Hindus, Shintoists. The most important thing is get the job done. And there are values the organization has that everybody must align with. Values. Otherwise, as a company, as a couple, you will start a company, it will never grow. Why? You like people that like you. And if you want people that like you, build them as friends around you. But for your work, build a team around the task. Did you get the difference? Build a team around the task. Build friends around you. Once you confuse it, you have settled in for mediocrity, you will be under-maximized, underutilized. Number 7, because of my time. Woo! I see some of you sending. Somebody said this is world-class teaching. Somebody said, tell us, sir. All right. Number 7, write this down. Stretch to spread. Stretch to spread. And make sacrifice together to accomplish your goals. Never forget what I just said to you right now. Stretch to spread. And make the necessary sacrifices so that you can grow. See, comfort is the greatest enemy of growth. You can never hold on to comfort and grow. But once you give up comfort to grow, you go into comfort again. And if you must grow beyond that point, you give up comfort. So the commodity for exchange when it comes to the world of growth is that you must constantly give up comfort so you can grow. So those who grow, they always trade with comfort. They give up comfort so they can have growth. Somebody once put it this way. It said comfort is the currency that you give out in order to buy growth. You cannot spread globally when you don't want to stretch. The desire for comfort as a couple is a reason your marriage has not risen beyond. You don't like anything that stretches you people as a couple. You don't like to make sacrifice. I can't do without. I can't do without watching DSTV. I can't do without internet. I can't do. Sometimes you give up to go up. Wise couples stretch to spread. They give up to go up. They make sacrifices. There is something called contrasting strategy. There are moments in your life when, in order to grow, you contrast. It is the principle that farmers use. When they want a tree to produce more, they cut the branches. There are some excesses you may need to give up so you can go up. As a couple, you need to learn to agree together, to stretch so you can spread, to make yourselves uncomfortable so that you can have future comfort. Here is the game. If you love pleasure today, you may not have treasure tomorrow. But if you give up today's pleasure, you will embrace tomorrow's pleasure. If you give up today's pleasure, you embrace your treasure tomorrow. And those who have access to treasure will perpetually live their lives in pleasure. There's a time when you must give up what you like so that you can have what you need. There's a time when you have to stop competing with the Joneses. Everybody's dressing in this. Everybody's buying that car. Everybody's going that way. I've been there before. I've almost made those mistakes in my life. I remember there were some times in my life when, in ministry, my friends were going to live in certain houses. And I told my wife, I'm like, sweetheart, I would love us to go and hang around my friends. And my wife said, we're not moving out of the house we're in now. That was very tough, but that was what I needed. My wife said to me, when you jump around from houses to houses, are they your house? Are they your houses? She said, look, from this house, we only go into one direction. We only go in one direction to our own house. God will bless her for being that tough on me so that I don't get distracted. I wanted comfort. I would have lost my treasure. There were moments when we'll be driving and I see this fantastic car. I like big cars. I like cars that are very heavy. I like cars that when you are driving on the road, you are present. I don't like a situation you are driving and it's like you are neither here nor there, So I like cars that are very heavy. Now, so when I see a car, I'm like, wow, sweetheart, how about getting that car? She said, what sense does it make that you buy that car into a rented apartment? Wow. So I had to give up the car in order to be able to accomplish something bigger. Now, if I want such a car, I can go for such a car. See, the point I'm making here is that you learn to stretch so you can spread. Those who love pleasure today don't have treasures tomorrow. Those who give up today's pleasure are those who control treasures tomorrow. You won't die if you don't eat burgers. You won't die if you don't eat pizzas. There's a time for you to say no to those things. There's a time when you don't live to impress anybody. If you're going to maximize your potential as a couple, can I ask you to be delivered from one thing? Couples who are very successful are couples who have been delivered from one thing. Can I tell you what it is? You want to be successful as a couple. You want to reach your peak as a couple. You want to maximize your potential. You want to maximize your platform. You want to see your purpose come to pass. You want to raise children that will be proud of you as parents. There's just one thing you need to be delivered from. Can I tell you what it is? The desire to impress people. Be delivered from it and your marriage will be okay. Monies you spend, why do you spend them? You want to impress somebody. The car you bought that you don't really need, why did you buy it? There was nothing wrong with the car you were using. It takes you to where you're going to. The seats are still okay. And even if the seats in the car are not okay, hey, why don't you go and give it a total makeover? The engine is still sound. So why did you buy what you bought? You want to impress. So you ended up impressing people, but you rounded up depressing yourself. And you bought it when you can't even sustain it. So here you are now. You are going through financial crisis and you're going to end up selling the cars. The car. Hey, here's the point. Why don't you make the kind of investment now that will make you in the future to be able to use the dividends of your investment to sponsor your pleasures? Did you hear what I just said? Pay the price now. Yes. Pay the price now. Make the investment now. So that in the future, the dividends from your investment will be used to service your pleasure. You want to go on vacation. You want to buy a Lamborghini. You want to buy a house on water. You want to go to Maui Islands. You want to go to Honolulu. You want to go to Trinidad. You want to go to any part of the world, Belize Island. You want to go even under the water. You want to start sleeping under the water. It's okay. You're free. Hey, but the question is, have you been able to labor enough for that rest? Let me ask you a question. Can you stay away from work for 3 months and not become financially bankrupt? If no is the answer, you are not financially independent yet. Have you put a system in place as a couple? A system in place. Have you put it in place such that if you're away from work for 2-3 months, your business will keep moving, income will keep flowing, you can be withdrawing to service your pleasure wherever you are around the world, and you will not run bankrupt? If you've not put that in place, you've not yet started what you need to start. That is what you should focus on. And the only way to do that is to make sure you take advantage of the things that I've shared with you today. And by the way, I'm not telling you what I'm not practicing. There are people watching me who know me. And I've been saying this for over 19 years. And when we started talking about things like this 19 years ago, some people thought we're just talking. But wisdom today is known by her fruits. The difference is becoming very clear. Those who embraced it when we said it then are living in the benefit of it now. Those who were like, oh, you know, what's he talking about? They are going through the pain of it right now. You are hearing now. If you start now, by 2030, your life will be different. Invest to rest. Give up comfort so that you can embrace growth. Let go of pleasure so you can have treasure. Give up liability so you can have assets. Be asset-minded, not liability-minded. iPhone 12. How much did you spend to buy iPhone 12? What is wrong with the phone you were using before? Even those who can afford it, don't buy it. Okay, so you bought a car that has screen inside the car. There's screen all over the place. Don't you have a television at home? Now, is a car where you're going to be watching TV? Oh, Pastor Sam, it's because when we travel, how often do you travel? There's nothing wrong with buying these things. There is time for everything under the earth. Madam, stop putting your husband under pressure to do for you now what in 5 years' time he will do easily. If you let him do now what in 5 years' time he should be doing easily, you're going to make him to be bankrupt in 5 years' time. So, madam, you will shine today, but you will be in darkness in 5 years' time. Is that not what you're seeing around you? Those who want to shine today, they shine now. They impress everybody now. And then in the years to come, they are nowhere to be found. My wife will always say something to me. She said, look, you know what? You don't know the worth of a true woman by how she appears in the public. My wife will always say the worth of a true woman is measured by what you find in her when you get back to her domain, when she's alone. Anybody can try to make you feel that they are worth $1 million in the public. But when you get back home, you will be disappointed. One, where they live, how they live, what they live for, you will be grossly disappointed. There are people who have it, they don't show it. And there are those who show it, they don't have it. It's a mystery in life. You have to decide. Do you want to continue to impress people? Send your children to schools you can't afford. So at the end of every school term, at the beginning of every school term, you are begging people up and down. You become a nuisance in the community, begging people constantly for money, begging the school. Your children are embarrassed. They don't have to go to those schools to become what they are destined to be. We went to some of the funniest and poorest of schools, but look at what we've become. Those who went to some of the most celebrated schools in our days, where are they today? Why are you putting yourselves under undue pressure? I'm out of time, but I'm not out of words. I'll be back on this same platform next week, Monday and Tuesday, and we will be talking about the intelligences you need to build a solid relationship. You don't want to miss out on this. I'll be talking to you about very powerful intelligences you need: emotional intelligence, positive intelligence, social intelligence, adaptive intelligence. I'm going to be talking to you about these intelligences, how you need them so that you can have a successful relationship. I can't wait to catch up with you then. And until I come your way again, this is Sam Oye saying, keep on keeping on. God bless you. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, 5. Oh my goodness, what a time we had this morning. What a time. If you're watching me right now, you've not been on our prayer platform, the prophetic prayer hour, every day, 5:50 a.m. West African time. I'll encourage you to join us 5:50 a.m. West African time tomorrow. And that is past midnight in the Eastern Standard Time in America, almost towards midnight if you're around the Houston area. It's about 10:50 if you're in Denver, 9:50 if you're in California. Whatever the time is in your own area, why don't you join us bright and early tomorrow? If you're in Australia, it will be at about 4 in the evening or 3:50 in the evening. I look forward to connecting with every one of you. Love you so very much. God's mighty blessings be with you. Somebody say, oh, another session is ending. Don't let it end. It has to end. I have to go rest my vocals for tomorrow morning. Love you. Bye-bye.